All right, welcome everyone. This is a special monthly webinar. I have my two colleagues, IDRC, we're kind of a small group. So all three of us are on here today, but I'm really going to turn the time over to Melissa and Evelyn and the tool that they're going to share. We really believe in the importance of using data in the work that you do. And we have been spending a lot of time over the last couple of years to try to figure out how can we present data in a way that makes it easier for recruiters, easier for IDNR. And about a year ago, I kind of presented an idea to Melissa saying, I wish we could make these work. And she's really spent a lot of time learning Power BI and really making a tool I think that's going to be really helpful. And so I'm going to turn the time over to Melissa and to Evelyn. And if you have questions, please put them in the chat box and we will answer those as we can.
Thank you, Jessica. I hope everybody can hear me okay. So we'll talk about Power BI, this presentation. So we'll begin by discussing why it's important to use data. We think that for IDNR, it should be completely based on good data. It's important to use data to organize your efforts. It helps your recruiters to know where they should be and where they should be working at, to organize your list of possible places to visit, to structure your staff time when you have a lot of areas to cover. And we know that organizing data is a challenge by itself. So for us in IDRC, we believe in visuals. So we created the Power BI report for all our member states. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. However, the people that are not members or the states that are not members, we have some suggested platforms that you can also use to create your own versions of these visuals. Of course, you could use Power BI, but these are other ones listed here on the slide. Now, Evelyn.
All right, welcome everyone. The one thing that we wanted to make sure that everybody understood whether you were whether you are a member state or whether you are not a member state, all of this data that we gather, we have a list in the IDRC website in case you want to create your own, like Melissa just explained, in case you want to do your own tables or graphics. So we have this available for the members and non-members. The Power BI is just for the members, but the ones that are not non-members of the IDRC, you can access this list in the IDRC website. Can we go to the next? Because I'm going to go live. So basically, we added to the PowerPoint where to go, and basically use going to the IDRC website. You click on the first option where it has all of the folders. But I'm going to go live to show you. We put it on the PowerPoint just because we're going to record it. Okay. So once you go to the IDRC website, you scroll down. Then you're going to click on the recruiter's resource. Once you're on the recruiter's resource, you're going to click on the third option, which is the agriculture information portal. From there, it's going to give you the option to choose your state. And so just choose whatever state you want, Melissa. So let's click on Alabama. So every state has some of the states going to vary on the list that you have available in there, just because some states might have fisheries, they have tobacco, but all of these lists are in the IDRC website, and anyone can go in there, download this list, and create their own graphics. If you are a non-member state, like Melissa said, you can use other apps to create your own graphics. Like when you hear you want to download this list, let's go to the H2A, H2B. Make sure you click on the link above the icon from the MapQuest. Then you click on the Excel spreadsheet. As you see, you're only gonna have access as a viewer, because you only have access as a viewer unless you are signing into your Gmail account. If you're signing into your Gmail account, you're going to be able to make a copy of this list and save it on your Google Drive. But if you don't have access, if you didn't sign in, you can also download it as a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, and you can save it on your desktop, and you can play around with if you are a recruiter, you're going to be able to divide the districts that are assigned to you. If you are a state IDNR coordinator, you can just, divide it by colors, however you want to use this data. But these resources or this list are for members and non-members states, and you can have access to this just by going into the website of the IDRC.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're jumping back into our presentation.
Yes.
So now we are going into Power BI. Well, first I need to introduce you to it. So first, what is Power BI? Power BI was created by Microsoft. So Excel, Word, all of those platforms, this is one of them. It's a platform to create visualizations, from multiple data sources and also Excel. I mostly use Excel. Power BI is a collection of software, services, apps, connectors, and everything works together. It's pretty amazing how it actually works, and it actually is not as hard. For this report, I'm just going to explain a little bit of what we have inside of the reports. So we included the USDA 2017 Census of Agriculture. We included the school districts, the USDA inspections, and that includes the poultry and egg inspections, aquaculture and hemp, if we can find anything for each state, for each of our member states, the H2A and B work orders and housing, the farm labor contracts, the listing of all the trailer parks, and the IDRC created list of agriculture. So those lists were some lists that we created for every member state, and the new member states will have their own, and we are working on that as well. And we also included information that we find by filing FOIA requests, and we also included just the NCFH health centers. And the reason why we included all of this information is because we believe is relevant for IDNR. And, for example, knowing where the H2A housing is located in each county is super useful for a recruiter. We continue to add more information as we continue. So especially now that we're going to get the new Census of Ag, which is coming out in February. So right now we're going to see all the information from 2017, but soon in February, we will get the information from the 2022 USDA Census of Ag. And I will update all of the reports. Evelyn?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
This is one of the tools that IDRC created, and like Jessica said, Melissa did work so hard on this, and I am excited because I truly believe that everyone can benefit from this, from the recruiter standpoint to the coordinators to the state directors. The Power BI it really provides with a comprehensive information on agriculture across the counties and the state. So it will give you information about the whole state. As an IDNR coordinator, you want to know what goes on or what agricultural crops we have in all of the state. The platform also categorizes the agriculture into crops, livestock, and fisheries on each county. Now, by exploring this data, you can identify those strengths, clusters, patterns, gaps, and missing values. When I say missing values is when we go over the Power BI, we're gonna go in detail with that. But this Power BI will give you an idea. Okay, this is our clusters, this is patterns, this is gap, this is what we're missing. Now, presenting this data visually allows supervisors and recruiters to plan and improve their efficiency in recruitment. I believe that data and IDNR goes hand in hand. You know, I cannot stress that so much, because I know that when I used to work in Georgia, I used to work with Jessica, the state data specialist, and that helps the recruiters so much. Working together with the data helps so much. So data is important to do the recruitment efficiently. Graphic also raise the questions that circumstances, research, and ideas. So you see a graphic, immediately you're going to say, oh, okay, I have this. So what can I do to find this place? So it's going to bring you ideas. What do you need to do next? Can we go to the next? Okay. So all this gathered information is to provide valuable insight to supervisors and recruiters, enabling them identify and locate all eligible migratory children. Additionally, the data collected helps in gaining a comprehensive understanding of all the crops available throughout the state. I know Melissa went over and said that they even added the health centers, which is that's why I'm excited about talking about the Power BI, because recruitment, I mean, if we were just recruiting and not providing any type of service, or at least a referral, at least now we're going to have these two, which is we have all these resources in the IDRC website, but in the Power BI, they included the health centers, which is going to help the recruiters so much.
Thank you. So now I just want to talk real quick about what exactly we added from the USDA Census of Ag. So just in that in specific, you're going to see your statewide summary, your county overview, other pages such as crops harvested, horticulture, livestock, hogs, and chickens. And that includes the honeybees, like specialty livestock. So this page I created so you have it as a reference for later. If you get this PowerPoint, you can always see what exactly is in Power BI. For smaller states, though, we included operations with lower headcount. For example, for a large state like Washington, we included cattle that's over 200 head of cattle. But for example, in a little state, we included all of them just in case they need, they could have some type of reference. So that's just a little caveat right there. Also, and like I said, which we're super excited about the 2022 census coming out in February. Things that I would like you to keep in mind is that all the pages are same. So when you choose the county, it's going to change in all the pages. And then the crops with less than 20 acres or 200,000 square feet, we excluded. But like I said, for smaller states, we didn't. Also, super important as well, the code, when you see that code 9.99 on the right side of your screen, that means that the USDA withheld that information, which means that if there's only one producer of a certain commodity, the USDA didn't provide that information, the number of acres. They just put a D in their page, but we put a 999 to be able to show you graphically this information. So when you see a 9.99, just know that it was withheld by the USDA, not us. So, but we'll talk more about this. And all the pages that contain maps, they have direct links to the source. So how to use the data from Power BI. So right now, we will review the different tabs, how to access the links and the spreadsheets like we did already, and how to download the list. And if you want to scan the code right here, the QR code to look at your report, I'll give it a couple minutes so you scan that and locate your Power BI. And just please remember, this is just for member states. So all the member states do have a Power BI report. So I'll just give it a couple minutes, right, everyone, just so they go in. And another point right here is that not all of the reports are going to look the same. So it might vary between states. Some might have aquaculture and the other one doesn't, but that's because we haven't found anything yet. Oh,
I did drop the link to in the chat box in case anybody's.
oh, that's great. Thank you, Jessica.
Mhm.
So I think now we should go into Power BI, and now we chose Minnesota. That's the one that we will review at this moment. Just a second, please. So this is Power BI for Minnesota. The first thing that I would like to note is that the first page is always your statewide summary. You have a little button here for the information. And in this button, when you click it, it's going to tell you a little bit of what the report has, and also has my email if you ever need to contact me to, request more information, or you see something off or anything, you can email me and just let me know what you need. Also, it tells the news again that the 2022 USDA Census of Ag is coming out in February. This first graph right here on the left, it's got the top 25 counties ranked by agricultural sales. And all this information is based on the USDS Census of Ag, like we mentioned. So if you have less than 25 counties, well, you would only see a graph from 1 to whatever counties you have. On the side here, you'll see the rest of the counties. And here you can sort them by just clicking on it, and it could, sort it alphabetically or numerically over here. So it looks like this state has 87 counties. Now on the right side, you see the sales in the state. So for Minnesota, I can see that there's 76% sales of livestock and only 24 of crops. On the bottom, we tell you about the top counties with most farmland in acres, and that would be Polk. And also a little note here is that you can focus any of these graphs. You can see on the right side, this where it says focus mode. If you click it, it makes it bigger, so you can just analyze it better. Evelyn?
Yes, like I said before, this is one of the tools that I think is going to be so essential. It's so important for everyone to at least try it, and because I believe it works, and I'm really excited because see, on this first page, it'll give you the whole like an idea like what is going on in your state. It divides it by rank. If you are a coordinator, if you're an IDNR coordinator or director, a state director, you do want to know what goes on in your state. And if you are a recruiter, you can go here and if you can see on the 25 counties, you can see what ranks each county it is, and you can divide it. Like in my case, I used to cover 35 school districts. Well, this will serve as planning, because this way I can, like, if I was still being a recruiter, I can divide my counties and I can see which one is number 1, which one is number 3, and which one is number 4. And like Melissa said, the new there's going to be an update this coming year, so you're going to have a more updated graphs here. But this is really good because it's going to give a recruiter the chance to actually plan their weekly, daily, or monthly. And if you are an IDNR coordinator, you can pretty much see where your recruiters are and where you need to move them with this data.
Thank you. Another thing that I want to mention is that on the bottom here, you can see how many pages you have in your report, and you can use the arrow, or you can click right here in between the numbers, and you see all of the pages. So you can jump back and forth from here instead of going with the arrow. So that's always an option. And you just click back in here and it minimizes. So let's go to the second page. And it looks like Stearns is the first county, the number 1 county for the state. And here on the top, you can select your counties. So you have a whole list of all the counties. So you can always change it, and you'll see that it changes here. So let's go back to number 1 because I wanted to see that one. Okay, so like I said, Stearns is number 1 in the state, and this is based on sales for the state. And then the second little box here, it tells you how many farm workers are there. So it's over 3,000 farm workers in the state. Now on the left side, you can see the operations that hire farm workers. So here it looks like there's 149 operations that hire between 5 and 9 workers. And then there's 45 that hire more than 10 or 10. Okay.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to put in context. There was a comment saying, is 2017 the most recent data we can get, and also a comment saying, hey, I'm happy to know we'll have newer data. One of the things that we've seen nationally is that recruiters will say, I'm really not sure what's, in my county, I'm really not sure what's out there. You may get a list and find out that the farm's not there. But agriculture as a whole, this data that you're looking at right here is ag census data. You will see percentages of change when we do the next ag census, but it may be like a 6% or a 4% or a 7%. Very rarely will there be a huge change where, where there was corn in an area, now there's no more corn, or where so I just want to put that in context so nobody's saying, hey, this is outdated data. There's really a lot of value in knowing that in 2017 in Stearns County, there were 3,171 workers that a farmer said they hired. So there's going to be more than that. These are just the reported ones. So that gives you a baseline to either prove, hey, it's changed, or everything else, it's still the same. So I just wanted to put that in there so someone wasn't thinking that it was old. So I'll be quiet.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. And then also on the bottom here where it says sales by type, it looks like in this county, there's 70% of livestock and 24 of crops. So they sell more livestock than crops. Evelyn?
Okay, so, I want to just bring this up. Okay, as a recruiters, we do have a responsibility as well. We'll give you all these tools for you guys to use. Now, when we're looking at this, when I'm looking at this, the second page, okay, what I see is an opportunity, because I see that, let's say that I was in Minnesota, and this is one of my counties, and I have 5 counties or 10 counties. I don't know how it's divided, but let's say that I'm a recruiter that I cover 10 counties. I can see that I have operations that hire from 5 to 9 workers, and I see another one that says that hires 10 or more workers. Okay, so as a recruiter, if I don't know where to go, I already know what I need to be looking for. Now, we have this list in the IDRC. Now, so I have a data, I have a visual data. Okay, I have these places that are hiring 5 to 9. I have 45 that hires 10 or more. Now, so what do I need to do? Now, if I'm a recruiter, I will go to my list. I will go to the list that I have in the IDRC website, and I will download that list, and I will download this, and I will divide it by this county that I cover, including Stearns County. And then I will say, okay, it says that they hire 10 workers, 5, 9 workers. I have this list. I will get all of my farms, because I believe that before we go out there and recruit, we should do our homework. We should, and by all means, I'm not saying that calls is the best thing to do when it comes to farmers. I think that when we are going out there and recruit, we use this opportunity to go into the farms and introduce ourselves, because farmers do know farmers. So this data is excellent, in my opinion, to plan your day, to plan your week. It gives you it's already telling you that there are places that are hiring workers, and we already are giving you lists that you can actually get the addresses. As you're going out and recruit, you already know what to look for, and you already have addresses, and you can develop your own map or just use the one that we have in the IDRC. So on this one, it's going to help you to see, okay, so I need to be looking for these farms. Now what I do next. The Power BI, in my opinion, is an essential tool to plan your day, your week, month, even if you a statewide IDNR coordinator, then it's good to plan just the recruitment overall.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Also, a quick note here where you see this code 9.99, I did include a description of it. So you can always hover over it and you will see the description. Okay, we're going to the third page now. Now here you see again the county, and you can change the county. Here there's a little note that we excluded operations with less than 200 head of cattle and hogs. And for this county in specific, look how many cows, over 198,000 and 66,000 milk cows. And here, actually, I'm gonna go here and under the focus mode so I can see it better. And it looks like there is 187 operations that have between 200 and 500 cows. Now let's jump over here. There's 15 operations that have more than 500 milk cows. So let's go back. Now for the hogs, there's 84,000. And then for the operations, it looks like the biggest is between 500 and 1,000 hogs. It looks like there's 8 operations that are that big. Now for poultry, we excluded anything less that has less than 10,000 chicken layers. So this would actually be only operations that have more than 10,000 chicken layers. And here you see the inventory. We also included the broilers for some reports. And it looks like if I open this, the largest one here is 100,000 chicken layers, and that's 4 operations. Now we also started including the honeybees, and for this county, it looks like there's 30 operations that have, and there's 495 colonies of honeybees. So this is a little tricky because you don't know how many each operation has, but there's 495 colonies of honeybees. Evelyn?
So on this store page, what I like is we go over each page. Each page is going to show you what do you have in that county. And I'm gonna just give you an example. I'm gonna put myself as a recruiter for Stearns County. Now I saw how many workers were hired by farmers, okay, on the previous window. Now on this one, I see that I have cattle and I have milk operations, which is dairies. So I already, like I said, as a recruiter, we don't want to dismiss any farmer, any farms, for even if they're small, because like I say, farmers do know farmers. If I'm driving and I know as a recruiter, we don't just go to businesses. We also have to do follow-ups on occupational surveys, referrals, M6, but we are out there anyway. So if I am going to do a follow-up on an M6 or a follow-up on an occupational survey, I have the Power BI that's telling me that where I'm going, they are farms, they are hiring workers. I already have the Power BI that's telling me that I have dairies, and I have cattle, I have hogs, I have honeybees, and I have layers or broilers. These are broilers are where they raise the chickens, and layers obviously is the egg farms. So if I already know that I have all of these, where I'm going, why not make a plan? Since I'm going out there to visit a family from an occupational survey in an M6. So the Power BI is giving me the opportunity now to know where I'm going to go and visit that family. I have these places that I can stop by, introduce. If you have not, like if you already have, introduce yourself to all of the farmers. But most of the time, I know that I was a recruiter for 19 years, and I'm pretty sure that I miss a lot of the farms. But with this, it's telling me it's telling me what to look for. I already know that I need to look for dairies because they have dairies in Stearns County. I already know that I'm going to look for cattle farms. And even if they have 200 heads to 200 cattle, I will still stop. I will still introduce myself, because even if they didn't hire anyone, it can be the owner of the farm can tell me, oh, but I know a farmer that they do have like 3 or 4 workers. So never dismiss the opportunity to stop, even if it's a very small farm, because chances are that this farmer knows another farmer. They do hire people.
Thank you, Evelyn. And here, let's just change the county just to see the difference. Look at this one. This one, they actually withheld the information of how many pigs there are here. But we can see there's one operation that has more than 1,000 pigs. So they didn't tell you the inventory, but they told you the operation information. So that gives you a clue.
Mhm.
Now let's go to the 4th page here. And this page contains the vegetables, orchards, and field crops. And also we excluded acres that have, well, crops that have less than 20 acres. This one, it looks like it withheld, so it must be a small county. Let me switch it. Oh, that one doesn't have any. Let me go back to Stearns. I think Stearns, well, it's not really big on vegetables, but look at here. Okay, so this county has a lot of potatoes. Over 9,000 acres of potatoes. The rest, let's make this bigger. It looks like 597 of snap beans harvested, and then it goes down. You know, it just goes to 1 acre of this, but look at this, potatoes. That's your main crop there. Your orchards, it looks like only 30 acres of orchards, and it doesn't tell you how many acres, but they tell you there's walnuts, grapes, and apples. Also here, the field crops I put on the right. Let's make it bigger. There's a lot of soybeans, hay and haylage, and a little bit of hops. It doesn't tell you how many. It could be, I don't know, 50 acres. We don't know, but there are hops in that county. Evelyn?
Yeah, this is the one that I'm more excited. This window. I know that as a recruiters, we always having a hard time when it comes to temporary, and we saw in the previous window, it was a lot of dairies, a lot of cattle, hogs. So the previous windows, it was all temporary. Now this is seasonal. Can we go back to Stearns County, Melissa? So when I looked at this, when I saw this, we see that we have pears, we have grapes, we have currants, we have cherries, we have all, and we have vegetables. The good thing that I like about this seasonal, we don't need a temporary comment, and it's pretty. It's really easy to recruit families, and so this will give me an idea that I need to prepare for this season. Okay. First, I'm going to be able, the first thing, like I say, as a recruiter, we also have a responsibility. We have a responsibility of doing our research. Okay, we give you the data. We already know that what we have. We are telling you that you have the H2A work orders, the H2A and H2B, and also the housing. And we also have mobile home parks. We have the farm labor contractors. So we have all this list that you have access to. So as a recruiter, we have the responsibility. I'm not going to say for you to spend a whole day just making phone calls, but what you can do is use these tools to plan your day. You already know that you have cattle, you have dairies, you have hogs, you have honeybees, you have layers and broilers. Now you're seeing that you have seasonal work. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my H2A housing, the housing and the H2A and the H2A H2B workers to see if this county, any of the farms hire H2A, H2B. I'm also going to go to farm labor contractor to see. I have addresses because it's already been provided to me. I also have Google Earth has the you can do Google Earth and zoom in and see what the farm looks like. I did it for years. I used Google. It was my best friend. So now, in addition to all these other things that we are, the IDRC has now, we have the Power BI that is showing you visually that you have orchards where you have plums, grapes, corn, cherries. We have snap beans, and so that we have to use this data. In this data, you have to use it in conjunction with the other information that we are giving you in the IDRC, so you can give addresses, farmers. If the phone number is disconnected, Google it. And if you are going already to that county and you didn't get in touch with anybody over the phone, and you're already going to that county because you are responsible for that for the recruitment in that county, and then stop by that address. Ask at the gas station. I remember I went with a recruiter in one of the states, and when we were in the gas station, she was recruiting people putting gas in their trucks, and that's what a recruiter do. We go, we ask, we have a responsibility to do our homework. This tool I think is going to work, and I think it's going to be mainly for anyone in the state, whether you are a state director, IDNR coordinator, or just a recruiter. This data is going to help you to visualize the things that you need to do and plan your day, month, or week.
Okay, so the next page is for horticulture, and that includes Christmas trees. So here we're talking about Christmas trees, we're talking about flowers. Here, the first on the left side, you'll see in yellow, and that might be a different color, but on the left side of it, I have horticulture in the open. So you're talking about Christmas trees, anything that's outside. So it looks like the biggest here, it's a nursery, total 74 acres, and that includes the Christmas trees. So you have Christmas trees, sod, you have short-term woody crops, and then on the right side, you have horticulture under protection. That means that's on a greenhouse. So that we're talking about this one, it doesn't really tell you how many square feet, because it says measure in square feet, not acres. Just keep that in mind. When you see a big number here, it's good, but it's not as good as seeing acres. So this is square feet. Evelyn?
Yeah, it's like I say, just this window is the same as the other ones. It's just different crops that we need to look for. Like I said, every window, it will show you things that you need to look for in the counties that you go and recruit. So we already know that I think it was on the third window, we saw that we have cattle, dairies, honeybees, layers, and broilers. On the other one, we had snap beans, and we have grapes, we have fruits. On this one, it's telling us that we have different horticulture crops, and this is so these are nurseries or greenhouses that we have to look for as we're recruiting. See, when I was a recruiter, I didn't have the luxury of these. I wish I did, because it would tell me everything that I had on the counties. I don't know how many of you this happens, but I know it happened to me all the time, where I would go to a county and I would drive, and my thing was, okay, so I'm going to get lost, like just go and get lost. And maybe by getting lost, I would find an egg farm. But with this, it's already telling me that I have all this agriculture in the counties that I'll be visiting. So as you see, like on honey, is a honeybean? Is that right, Melissa? Honeybean?
Which one? The
county honeybean, did I say it right?
I don't know how to say it, but that one.
Okay. So on this county, see, we said we have aquatic plants. See, if I would be recruiting in this county, I wouldn't even know that I had that. Now I know that I have to look for that too. So once again, these data, but have this visual on everything that we have as recruiters. To me, it's a gold mine. I wish I had it when I was a recruiter, because it would have helped me so much. It would have saved me so much time. Instead of me getting lost, I already know what to look for. I did my research. Don't get me wrong. I believe that I don't believe in just going out and get lost. I believe on making a plan. I used to make a plan on daily basis, on weekly basis, because as a recruiters, our plans do change, especially like you might have a plan on going to this district, but then somebody calls and say, hey, we have a lead or we have an M6 notification, and that will take priority of everything. But the good thing that even when it changes, now we have this. Okay, I'm going to go to see the M6 because my plan changed. Let me go ahead and get into the Power BI, get that county, and let's see what is in that county. It will take you literally 20 minutes to go ahead and go research, do your list, and go out the door. So, and like I say, in my opinion, this is a gold mine. I can't stress enough how I am thankful for Melissa, because she spent so much time on this, and I believe that this is gonna be a good working tool for all the recruiters and for the whole state, any state.
And look at that, it's 104 acres of nursery. It doesn't tell you what, but it gives you a hint. They withheld the information, but it told you there's aquatic plants, cut flowers. So it's one of those 4. That's 104 acres, or at least, some. Okay, let's go to the next page and see here, over here on the Christmas trees, there's less than 20 acres. All right, so the following page. So now we're going into maps and such. So this is connected to that other information that we saw in our first slides, that you can log into the website and you can go to this information, but now we put it here for you so you can visualize it. So this is USDA inspections. This is one that's called Good Agricultural Practices. And so we put the information here by county, and you can always make this map bigger here on the focus mode. You can hover over and you'll see the address and the name of the company. And then here you can see when we last updated this information. And here under where it says to view this list, click here. If we click here, it takes us to that page that you can download this information, or you can make a copy if you're logged into your Gmail account. So all of these maps you have your little link here to the actual spreadsheet, the Google Sheet. And then here you have the USDA meat and poultry eggs inspections map and the list. Evelyn?
Well, and okay, I want to make sure that everybody understands that we have all this data, and at the beginning, Melissa explained that once you change the county, it will change it on all of the windows. Now, all of this data, you can download the maps. Like I said, you can download the list and make your own map. And the reason for this is, let me give you, like I explained to you before, I used to be a recruiter for Georgia, and I recruited, I think, in either 33 or 35 school districts. I can remember. So I will not download or make a map of the whole state. I was making maps on daily basis only on the district that were assigned to me. Therefore, all of these lists or not all of the data that you saw from the cattle, all of the honeybees, hogs, layers, broilers. I think I saw somebody there saying that if it's not attached to a map, like I say, as a recruiter, we have a responsibility of making or doing our own research. So when I said that we have, when the Power BI is showing you that we have all these farms, or chicken broilers, layers, honeybees, or all this agriculture, what we're saying is that this is what this county has. Now, as a recruiter, we have to do our homework of going to the list, divide, you can put filters to the list and just add that county and say, okay, I just want to see what's available in Stern County for that matter, okay? When you do that, when you add the filter, it's just going to give you everything that you have in that county. So this, you already know what you're looking for. and you already have this list that have addresses. It's just a matter of you spending 5-10 minutes of going in there, download the list, put a filter, and just, filter the counties that you are assigned to. So basically all of these, I just saw Melissa, she went into the list, and literally it will take you 5 to 10 minutes. Is attached to the maps. You can download it directly from the Power BI, or you can go through the IDRC website.
Thank you. So the next page is for actual H2A and B housing and work orders. So here, just as the prior page, you can just look at all the information by county, or you can download the actual spreadsheet. But here you would have to put your own filters, like Evelyn said, and select your counties.
Mhm.
And here, this is important to note that for the H2A housing, we do update that quarterly. And the H2A and B work orders, we update them every 6 weeks. However, here in Power BI, we will only update them every quarter. So if you want to see the most updated H2A and B work order, for instance, you would have to click here, and it'll take you to the actual spreadsheet, which has the date of when we last updated it. And Evelyn?
Yes. So the one thing that I forgot to mention is when we making our plans, whether you are a recruiter, state director, IDNR coordinator, as you saw, like we have divided the temporary comments versus the seasonal, which is like I said, I just love this tool. That's why I'm so excited, because with the temporary jobs, we do know that people tends to stay longer, right? And with the seasonal, it's just during the season. So with this, it helped us. It helped us plan, like, okay, this is temporary, but in this, I have apples for that matter. I have apples, so I'm going to prepare myself with materials, with business cards, with whatever the state provides me, to be available, to be ready. So when the H2A, H2B workers arrive. Now, I remember a few years ago, we used to dismiss the H2B workers because we had a lot of construction and landscaping. But I remember I started downloading all the H2Bs, and I found out that a lot of the poultry plant now are bringing H2B workers. Okay, so even if it's if I would still be a recruiter, which that's what I was doing before I left as a recruiter in Georgia, I was starting to finding a lot of the poultry plants bringing H2B workers. And now I remember reaching out to Jessica, and I said, Jessica, how can I get this? And she was like, oh, she sent me immediately a PowerPoint. And then she was like, oh, okay, you can download the list and just sort it out. So I did that, and by doing that, I found a poultry plant. They bring over 400 H2B workers, and they bring them on different months. And I was able to sign up quite a few OSYs last year before I left, and this year before I left. So the IDRC is already providing us with the H2A list, housing list, the H2A and H2B, and you're gonna find all this information, even when you think that they're not bringing, people there with the H2B, there's a lot of young guys, H2, they could qualify as OSYs. So this right here is giving us already the information to get us prepared. So when these people, when these families or these OSYs arrive to our districts.
Thank you. So let's go to the next page. This actually has the farm labor contracts. And let's click here to see which counties do have some. So it looks like Dakota has some. So let's go to Dakota just to see it. Dakota. All right. So here you can see your labor contracts. Evelyn?
And see that and see the other thing, she's showing you the map, but like I said, you can create your own map. That's another thing. We have a PowerPoint that walk you through it, step by step how to create your own map. And so you're now, see, we have, I wish I knew about all of these things that IDRC did, because see, now we don't just have list, okay? We have a PowerPoint that is showing us how to do maps. Now, in addition to that, now we have a Power BI that's telling us what do we have in each county that is assigned to us as a recruiter. And if you're an IDNR coordinator, it's showing you what you have in your state and how you need to be prepared, or how you need to move the recruiters depending on the season, okay? So the Power BI is enabling us to do our recruitment more efficiently. So we have all these tools. So this is showing you the maps. As you saw, Melissa, she went into the county and she's showing you the map. Oh, there's a H2A. What is this? The labor contractor is showing
Labor
you.
contracts.
It's
Yes.
showing you where they are, and it's so the addresses are there. That means they are also in the list, and you can download the list and create your own map. You don't know how to create a map? It's okay. We have a PowerPoint. They walk you through it step by step how to create the map.
So it looks like we only have 9 minutes, so we're gonna rush through so we can have some questions.
Mhm.
So let's go. And so this will be different. You will not see this in your in any other report other than Minnesota, because they have, for example, a specific plan that is called Equal to program, and they have this type of inspections. And so we found these lists, and we plug them in here, and the direct links are here, and on the bottom you can click here and it takes you to where we found the information. Now let's go to the next page. And this is also similar, the Minnesota dairy inspections, that's just for them. So you would look into this here. Now we found aquaculture as well. Here's a little bit of aquaculture from the Department of Natural Resources. We filed a FOIA request and we got a lot of information here. So you can click there, download the Google sheet, or just look at here by county. Now, this is what we were talking about, all agriculture information. We put it in here as well. And the trailer parks. I know I'm going kind of quick, but we did mention how these maps do work and how you can click here and go and search the entire spreadsheet.
I think
Now,
it's good to remember that each state is going to be a little different. So the other states will have the meat and poultry processing. So you'll have, but whenever we find a FOIA request, Melissa is really good about finding those. You might have a customized Power BI once you have those additional things.
so you might have more than just 13 pages. And then lastly, we all of the states that do have health, National Center for Farm Worker Health clinics, we did put them in here. So that's all we have here. And I wanted to check if there are any questions.
I've been kind of asking them as they go, answering them as they go. So if you guys have additional questions, if you want to go ahead and put those in.
I'm gonna put up our information so they have our contact information as well.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and the website. And if there's any link, there was a comment, there might be a link. If there's any links that are weird, let us know. Magali will make sure. And then if you can't, you can always go to the website. Maybe can you, yeah, there's their contact information. Can you show them on the website again where to find their state maps? Just like go to the website and walk them through just where we have all those, the ag portal information, just as one final reminder where they can get that.
All right, so you go to our website and we're looking for the Power BI links, right?
Yes. No. Sorry. Up where it says recruiter, go farther up. Recruiter
okay.
resources, just to
Yes.
show them again where their ag portal is.
So your ag portal will be here, the third one here. You click that and you just select your state. Every state has a list. So let's say Florida, that's not one of our member states. They do have a list with all the information we found, farm labor contract. So the Power BI we showed you, you could do yourself. even if you're not a member state. You could do your own with these lists. You have
Oh,
hemp right
There was a
here.
question saying, can you go back and show us where you got that at one more time?
Sure thing, sure thing. I'm going back to,
Front page.
so when you go to our website, this is our welcome page. You go down over here on the left, you click here. And this option, agriculture informational portal, farm contract labor, agribusiness, and more. You click there. And here's where you select your state.
Perfect. Any other questions? We have just 3 or 4 more minutes. If anybody has anything else they want to have answered, I want to say personally thank you to Evelyn and Melissa for putting this together. We wanted to make sure that you were getting the perspective of what a recruiter might think as they're looking at it. And then Melissa is the one that has done all of the work to put it together.
And
it
email
turns-
me if you see something off. I'll be glad to help or change anything for your state specific report.
So there was a question about mentioning that we had a training for making Google Maps. So I did drop it into the chat. I'm going to drop it in one more time. We have multiple training videos. You can watch them. You can slow us down. You can follow along. And this is both on Power, not on Power BI, but on Google Maps, and also, what's the other one we did? I'm going to stop. Can you stop recording? No.
Oh, yes, hold on just a second.
Yes.
Well, here,
Wait, I got it.